And now for our weekly look at legal issues in the news with our in-house legal expert, attorney Tom Olsen. This is Olsen on Law.
Hey there, remember me? Alan Spector here, and every Thursday at this time we bring you Olsen on Law with veteran Orlando attorney Tom Olsen. Tom, good morning.
Good morning, Alan and crew and WFLA listeners.
Today, Tom, our subject is inheritance, parents leaving their wealth to their children, and possible problems that might cause. My first question, Tom, do you suggest to clients that they leave everything equally to their adult children?
Yeah, Alan, leaving everything equally to their children is always my starting point. And if the children want to leave things unequally to their children, the parents, if they want to do that, then I always ask them the reasons for doing that, and I make note of those reasons in the client's file.
Okay, if that happens, if things aren't equal, when parents pass away, how likely is it that their kids will argue or maybe even never speak to each other again?
Alan, I've been a lawyer for 40 years, and back in the early days when mom and dad passed away, it was very rare that the kids would argue with each other over their parents' estate. These days, I'd say there's at least a 50% chance the kids are going to argue when mom and dad pass away, and even a 20% chance some of them will never talk to each other again.
Now, if the parents had left an equal portion to each kid, do you still find arguments? One kid saying, "Well, I was their favorite. I should have gotten more than these other two yo-hos."
No, even if they're doing things equally to the kids, the arguments often will come into play as to who's in charge of the estate. Say, for example, it's a sister and she might be taking too long. The kids are anxious to get their money, their inheritance, and just really complaining about how long it takes for them, that the sister's taking her time.
Yeah, as you said, it was very rare for children to argue with each other back in the day when their parents passed away. Why has this changed?
In my opinion, back in the day, the kids were grateful to inherit anything from mom or dad. These days, it seems like the children have an expectation to inherit from mom and dad, and in fact, they seem to be counting on that money for their own retirement income.
Thankfully, my kids are not. What are some of the reasons parents leave their wealth unequally to their children, Tom?
All right, Alan, top 3 reasons for unequal distribution. One would be that the parent gave the child some money during the parent's lifetime. For example, they gave them money to buy a house or put a down payment on a house. Number 2 reason, that one of the children is not visiting with mom or dad or not calling them, they're out of touch.
You never
and then
call.
Number 3 reason,
you don't write. You don't call.
Money to the child while they were alive, and that child never repaid that loan. So take that as a lesson for all you listeners out there.
Yes, certainly. Another lesson from Tom Olsen, attorney at law. It's the Olsen on Law show, and if you have legal questions, that show is broadcast Saturdays at 1 p.m. here on News Radio WFLA Orlando. And we do this Thursday morning segment live on Facebook, and you can go back and watch it on our Facebook page. Tom, thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Alan.
And remember, for all of your legal needs, call the Olsen Law Group in Orlando.